Oh, we haven't adjusted our camera yet.
Uh-huh.
Oh, we have. Okay.
Yay.
Here, scoot in. Everybody wants to see you. Nobody wants to see me.
Hey, everybody.
All right. How are we doing in Discord? Can y'all hear us? Discord.
Yep.
Yay.
All right.
Yep.
And it looks like
Glad to have all the peeps back.
I know.
From Atlanta.
We're going to do a little Atlanta review.
What a fun weekend.
Was it?
Fantastic.
Did you have a good time, baby?
Such a good time.
Yeah?
Yep. Had a bunch of, got to meet a lot of new people. That was fantastic. That we've only talked to on Discord, pretty much. And then also had some fantastic casting going on. We had Jeff Creasy.
Yeah.
Did an awesome job.
We had other
and we
members
had
of the team
Jonathan
fill in.
Fisher.
Yep.
Yeah, and Ian helped out.
So today on stream, what we're going to do is we're going to recap the amazing weekend that we did and that we had. And we're going to talk to a lot of the big winners and celebrities, so to speak.
That's right.
We tried to get, I think I've reached out to Blake too late because I don't think he saw my message. Yeah. And I know KTOD Mike Jim is actually educating the young minds of America, so it's hard for him to get on at lunchtime ever. But we're going to have special guests all throughout the next 90 minutes.
Yeah, I'm excited. We've got some deck tech for people.
Deck tech, we got lists of people.
Winning deck lists.
The audience loves lists. They want you to explain how to, they want to be champions too, so they want to take your list and teach them how to play it so they can win too. It's great. But Ben, your stream Friday.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the numbers! Holy cow!
Thanks to a lot of help from not only Bothans but K2OD people.
The Maclunky Gaming, they're the ones that got us the right gear, told us what gear to bring with us.
Yes.
I mean, Maclunky did a great stream Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. So we're over. I think almost to 11,000 views or something crazy like that.
And it looked great.
Yeah.
I mean, like, this is a still shot.
Happier.
There's Jeff. Hey, Jeff. You see yourself on screen. But, yeah.
That's a live action shot there.
Yeah. I mean, and the results from the stream, holy cow. At one point, it was when Alex and Josh Everly were playing at the end of their top 8 match.
Yeah.
We had 531 people watching.
It was fantastic.
Alex and Josh.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Holy cow. That's one of the largest Wooooo streams ever. And it was on a Friday. This wasn't like a Saturday PQ final or something.
I know.
This was a Friday to have so many people. Yeah. And we're over 10,000 views now.
Yeah,
if anybody who's in chat hadn't seen it yet or watching
and we've gone back and added chapters. So if you want to scoop down to the description or whatever and then find whichever match you want to watch, feel free to go in there and check that out. So yeah.
So if you want to see that match between Josh and Alex, you can actually click on the chapter and go straight to it.
Exactly. Yep.
For sure.
Or any of the other matches you want to hop in.
Oh, thanks, Fetchin. In chat, Fetchin says the stream was amazing.
Yay,
absolutely
thanks.
Amazing. Yeah, we had a great time doing it.
Yeah,
and we're going to get better. I mean, every time we do this, we're getting better.
Yeah,
better cameras, better figuring out. Like, I like the Maclunky Gaming layout. Like, you can see more of the
it's really clean. I like that too.
Yeah, so we're going to keep working on
about that,
our overlays.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep, we appreciate
but
all
how
the
else
feedback.
are we going to see... How else are we going to see Jeff's beautiful face for 12 hours straight?
No, we're still going to have that. That's not negotiable.
You have to see that masterful beard.
Let's go
right?
back. Let's get a good look. Where's that on my little...
he and Jonathan are giving each other a run for the money.
Right.
That should be a whole meme in itself.
We're either a TCG team or some kind of bluegrass band. I'm not sure. But
I love it.
we are doing something on that vibe, for sure.
Fantastic.
I do own a banjo.
Okay, so we're halfway there.
And that's my favorite instrument.
And that's the sexy voice of Jeff. So Jeff, tell us about your experience. You were a marathon man, right? Friday. How long did you stream straight, pretty much?
13
All of it.
Or something.
Yeah, we got there. We got there a little after 8, and then left a little before 11, I think. The YouTube video was like 11 hours long, so all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know how you even have a voice.
My voice is very strong. It takes a lot to get this down. But even me, by Sunday, I was talking a little rough by Sunday for sure.
And then you had obviously a lot of help from the Bothan teammates. I know Jonathan Fisher.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Jonathan has a great YouTube channel. Does his own content that everybody should check out. Is it Jonathan R. Fisher? I think.
Yeah.
Jonathan, what is your YouTube?
Yeah. Jonathan R. Fisher. That day I memed with George playing Chancellor. We scrubbed out, so I joined in the last round of Swiss and stuck around for the top cut. It was great. Loved it.
Yep. We had some other Bothans help out. We had Ian Klein help out. We had Lake Crawl helping
Lake.
out. Yep.
And then
Crawl.
he popped in. That was great. George even commentated, right? George,
that's
did you
right.
commentate at some point?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was there during the top 8. I showed up.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing that's fun about it is that when you have a large team like we do and with such great players and analytic minds, it's easy to pull people in and give the viewers the best analysis we can give them.
Right. Absolutely.
And these are big time.
Yeah. Also, I think one of the coolest things about being in person was all the winners interviews. I think we had Alex on there twice. Bobby
Alex
Sapphire
was definitely
on.
entertaining.
Chris was on.
Yeah, Alex was the superstar of SCG Atlanta.
Yeah, if
no
you
doubt
missed
about
that, you definitely have to.
You need to go back just to watch Alex and count his F-bombs. I mean, count his mistakes. He shouldn't have said
His
those
friend
words.
bombs.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we had Jonah on talking about the judge program. It was all the interviews were really cool.
Yep.
Hey, don't forget about my loser interview.
We also had Josh
Ian.
from NextGenGaming.
Ian
on there.
Yeah,
as
Josh
well.
from NextGenGaming. Yeah, he was great. He actually he recorded some footage too, so y'all check out his channel, NextGenGaming.
All right.
I know I've got a match on there with Bobby Sapphire that people would enjoy watching.
Yeah.
I think is the
A lot of good matches.
Yeah, I want to say that Ian, you and I saw Mickey D in chat. We were the silver medalists this weekend, right? We got second in our big events. Mickey D got second at a PQ. He though gets to go to the PQ as a champion because the PQ champion that beat Mickey D already had his PQ championship.
Blake?
No, I'm talking about from our team, Mickey D.
Oh, from our team.
So
okay. Sorry, I thought you
so us silver medalists, Ian, what should we do for our jerseys since we didn't earn our gold jerseys?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think we need to get some custom duct tape second place
Yes.
silver medalist jerseys.
Silver medalist duct tape jerseys. So
I love it.
yeah, I think we only have like 3 people on our team right now that have earned the gold jersey. I think Joel Lee was there wearing it, looking so good.
Yeah,
in
he
it.
did.
I'll
That's
show
the
you
first
that.
time I've seen one in person. It looked
Let me
great.
show you how it looks. So I've got a picture here. Where's the team picture?
I have a really funny story about meeting Joel. So obviously Joel, great teammate, great player. I had never met him in person yet, so I didn't know what he will look like. And I saw that there was someone wearing a gold Bothan jersey, and I forget who I pulled aside. It's Frank. I think it was you.
Yeah, you pulled me aside.
I was like, Frank, who's this person in the gold jersey? Who is this person? And then you're like, Ian, that's Joel. And I'm like, oh my God. And then I introduced myself to Joel, and he's a great guy. He was awesome to talk to and hang out with and jam games with.
Yeah, that's what the gold jersey looks like there that we're all trying to win. To get
the coveted gold jersey.
It has the gold accents. It's if you win a tournament of 65 or more players, play it out to first place. You can't cut, you can't chop. You got to play that out.
Yeah.
And I know Jonah, the TD, did not like that because Friday and Saturday, none of us were chopping. We're like, Ian and I wanted our gold jerseys.
Oh yeah, it became a joke by the end of the SCG Atlanta. Like,
that was
the
hilarious.
Bothans aren't going to chop.
Yeah. But we did chop on Sunday because the tournament went in 65 people, or more. But the Bothan house popped off. We had a great time. I know, Alex, you got to stay with us. We just a whole weekend of us jamming games and playing and talking.
That looks like a small group there.
That's about half of it.
I was about to say, there weren't many more.
I just the only picture I could find real quick for that. But so we had
had some of the K2OD boys joining us, which is awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome having Mike and Alex staying with us. Alex, did you have fun hanging out with us at the Bothan house?
I did. I had a great time, actually. Maybe a little too much to drink, but it was kind of hard to resist when I walk in and there's like 12 packs of beer, like 4 unopened bottles. And you guys even got the good stuff, Patron.
Yeah, that's David. David brought us the good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of our teammates, David, is his main contribution, he says, to the team is that he supplies us with there's actually a scotch called Bothan Scotch. And he found it and brought it.
That's awesome. I love it.
He's awesome. But Alex, let's chat a bit. First off, it was a huge weekend for KTOD. Let me find my KTOD boys. Here's y'all's Sunday picture from you and Mike, right? Kicking us so much butt. Mike made top 4 in the big event, the 2K, and then of course you took it down, smashing faces along the way. I had a good time. I didn't make make the KTOD hangout because Blake and I were stuck in a finals on Friday. But look, check out this great playmat. That if you're a subscriber to KTOD for like, I don't know if it's a 3-month subscriber. I know Alex doesn't know what the rules are. He didn't pay attention to that, right, Alex?
Yeah, I didn't even know we had a YouTube channel till about 2 weeks ago. So
That's hilarious.
But no, I got my. I've been a long time subscriber. As soon as I met Mike and Matty in Orlando back in April or May, the 5K, I jumped in their Discord, and it's been such a valuable part of my improvement and getting better as a swoop player. It's been what I learned in the KTOD Discord, and the community there is great.
Talk about great deck list to get.
Yeah,
join their
deck lists
Discord
there are fantastic if y'all like
Patreon.
deck lists. But yeah, so I got this cool playmat. I think this is what it looks like. I found a picture of it. Yeah, so let's go to.
Oh, wait, you've got to show the cosplay.
The cosplay. I mean,
that's phenomenal. What? Wrong one?
No, I know, but I want the audience to see the difference. Okay, so here's
I gotcha.
This is Mike and Alex, and they were playing Django and Han.
Love it. That's fantastic.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
So, Alex, I'm not gonna lie, you look good as a Han Solo.
I know, right?
We're showing the picture of you with the Han Solo outfit. Did we lose Alex?
We may have lost this.
no, I'm here. I'm here. I'm waiting. I'm on my phone, so I have to keep switching between the YouTube stream so I can see things and the and there it is. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So I thought I had your deck list ready to fire up. Crap, it's not here. But I think everybody can find your deck list in the KTOD Discord. But yeah, tell us about your deck this weekend. It did real well. First off, did you enjoy the event? Like, were you pleased with your results?
Yeah, I mean, I was happy. I was disappointed because I went back and watched the stream, and our top format should have just been that. I have 2 options to win there, and I have 2 turns in a row where I can actually win that game. One is just don't mana when I have the surprise strike in hand to hold it, kill you the next turn. The other is just either don't mana the next turn or just open the turn with Gammo Guards, and either of those will get me there, and that was game 1, so I don't think you can draw Bright Hope off the top to actually stop me killing you with the Falcon the next turn. That was I was honestly disappointed how I played against you in Swiss. It worked out.
Yeah, you
but
beat
other
me
than
in
that,
Swiss,
I was... Yeah, I did, but game 1, I just played so very, very poorly. Game 2, I played great. But other than that, I think I played fairly well most of the week. I think you were the only person I can say I really messed up. I threw against Ian in Swiss, too. I made a big mistake game 3, I think, against Ian. But other than that, I was pretty pleased with my performance. I'm always feel like I'm my toughest critic. So it's rare I lose a game where I say there's nothing I could have done differently. So
yeah.
But yeah, I was pretty pleased.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, of course you were. You're the big winner of the 2K on Saturday. See if I got the top cut here somewhere to show. Since I don't have his deck list for some reason. I downloaded your deck list to put up here. Now I can't find where I saved it. So let's talk through your match. On Saturday, do you remember who'd you play in the top cut on Saturday at the 2K?
So I'm bad with names, but I have this very concise memory of how games play out in these types of events. It's gotten worse with recent years, but so in top cut, and I feel bad because I'm 99% sure he's a patron of ours, but I played guy with the glasses. Oh, there's 2 guys with glasses.
No, you played Evan.
Evan.
Evan's one of our locals,
Evan.
and he is. Yeah, he loves KTOD. He's very active in y'all's community.
Yeah, so he was playing Mike Gem, Bobby Sapphire's Django list, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
We played.
Evan played fantastic.
I won that 2-0. As I recall, I think one of the games I locked up as TDR and he just couldn't play, and the other one one of the games he drew very, very poorly. I do remember that it was just he drew extremely poor. And then I think I feel like I'm advantaged in that match. I feel like Han has a slight edge up on Django, especially when they're not playing the flamethrower in the main, which he was not. I don't think he had it in his side either. I think Flamethrower is one of the best cards as Django versus Han, because it just gives you the ability to every single turn just go take initiative, open attack with Django, tap your whole board down, and sometimes you don't even have to play stuff. You just keep attacking face and tapping their board down and claiming initiative. You don't even attack with your other guys. You don't play something. Just leave all your mana up and just keep doing that until they can actually escape the Flamethrower lockdown. And I've won quite a few games that way, at least on Kara Bass. So I don't know if it works in real tournament, but it does on Kara. So
yeah, we're real proud of Evan. He's a local. He's come a long way, and he's now top cutting events. I got to battle him at locals all the time, and he's definitely, him and Lake, our teammate Craw, is definitely the hardest matches I play. He's doing really great. I'm really proud of Evan. Glad to see his success. So that was your top 8. And I'm sure, you've got so much experience playing against that Django Tarkintown deck of Mike's because of your internal teamwork, I'm sure. Did that feel like it gave you an advantage knowing his deck so well?
I think knowing the deck, but I have played as both Django versus Han and the other way around, so I understand the intricacies of like what this deck is fully capable of, and I understand what my deck is capable of, and I feel like knowing the matchup on both sides, it does certainly give me a huge leg up, I would say.
Okay. What are some of the just basics? We'll move on because we have a lot to interview today, but when I think Han into a Django match is going to be something we see a lot of over the next few weeks. I think the Han decks are rising. Django's already kind of one of the top decks played. What are your overall lines? What are you thinking about in that matchup?
The biggest thing is, and I think Ian and I came to an agreement on this without actually talking to each other ahead of time, is that you need initiative going into the TDR turn so you can slam Kira. Like, you're really just trying to rip their hand apart. So, like, you want to cast Bodhi at some point, whether it's turn 1 or turn 2, and do, like, a TDR check, and if not, you take something else. But you really just want initiative going into the 4-mana turn so you can slam Kira, and if they drew TDR off the top, you can name it. And ideally, you've already got their Tarkintown used, so they typically can't get rid of Kira at that point. Sometimes even if they do have the Tarkintown, they still can't get rid of Kira because they just didn't play a unit on the ground on turn 1 or turn 2. And then once they can't play their TDR, it's usually a rat from there because their deck really, like, this is what I always say of Django. It's a deck with the highest ceiling but the lowest floor. And part of that ceiling is TDR seeing a Ruthless Raider. So I think when you take their TDR away from them, they're really just a vanilla space deck. Like, most of their creatures are just like 3 attack vanillas. They don't really like do a whole lot, or 2 attack or whatever. Like, their space units are just vanillas. Like, so you're gonna outrace them when they're not able to tap your guys down to kind of win that race. When you see cards like Cunning, when you see cards like Falcon, or just even like ways to kind of like bounce them, like Enfys Nest or Cantina Bouncers. Like, if they don't see Triple Dark Raid, this matchup feels very, very much in Han's favor. And maybe Ian, you can throw your 2 cents in here if you feel I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, I think you're exactly right. I had done a lot of prep work early on in set 3 because of our show match that we did with both Late Night Gaming and Maclunky Gaming, where I had to play against Maclunky Gaming on a Django deck. And I was faced with the task of using Mace Windu to do so. And what I realized was the only way that you could beat the Django Tarkintown deck, because I was assuming that Maclunky Gaming was going to play the Django Tarkintown deck, was that you have to disrupt their hand so that they can't Triple Dark Raid into Ruthless Raider. So early on, I knew that was like kind of the key. And then obviously I ended up playing Han all 3 days. Just on the first day, I played Han Tarkintown, just trying out some spice. Did not pan out, but I did play against a Django, which was on stream on Friday. And if people recall, I didn't have Kira's main deck in my Han Tarkintown deck. I had it in the sideboard, and I played on the 4 resource turn, had initiative, and my best course of action was to Spark of Rebellion my opponent, and he had 2 Triple Dark Raids in hand. which just shows you the power of what Kira can do compared to Spark, because I was able to take one of those triple dark raids, and then he just plays the other one, gets the Ruthless Raider, of course, and the game kind of spirals out from there. So, yeah, Kira is, I think, the most important card in that matchup, and one of the reasons that I like my version with the Rebels so much is because playing the weaker units on the early turns actually helps her survivability, because it can guarantee that the Tarkintown is used, whereas opposed to if you're playing these 2/2 shieldeds, it's more likely that the TDR or the Tarkintown isn't going to get used up in those first couple turns. But
great. Okay. And I found here, let me stick it up real quick. I found Alex's deck list, so let me stick it on the stream real quick so people can enjoy talking about it, not just a blank screen that I've got up right now, because I don't know how to make changes on the fly like I should. Do you see Alex? Yep, there it is. Here it is. Okay, can y'all see that in chat? Okay, Han, good stuff. Why is it, obvious answer to this, but why is it called Han good stuff, right? Alex?
I think because in the last set there were 2 versions, and the one version was Rebels, but the other version was just you played a lot of just like good cards as opposed to like the synergies of Rebels. So I think I don't know who coined the term good stuff. I don't think it was myself, but I think
it was Troy Yamaguchi.
Oh, another fantastic player. That's great.
It might have been him. I'm fairly certain it wasn't me. I usually remember most of my like nicknames and stuff. So that I think it was just because like the good stuff version was playing a lot of just like good cards that had very little synergy. So like Gamma Guards, Kira, the L3 bot, just like good cards. So yeah, I guess they called it good stuff. And I kind of just kept with that name here because it wasn't Rebels, and it kind of followed the same idea of just like you're just playing good cards as opposed to any synergies like Rebels.
Well, Mono Han had a great weekend in Atlanta.
For sure.
I mean, obviously you and Ian went to the finals in the 2K, and then Josh Everly, who's in stream with us, Josh went undefeated on Sunday with it. We chopped in the top cut. See if I can find. I think this is his Anakin deck.
Okay.
So
yeah, that I did.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Well, I'll start. Josh, are you still here? Is Josh in Discord?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Hey, man, congratulations on your big weekend.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Fantastic.
It was definitely a trip and a journey.
Yeah. Let's see if we can find your picture.
We're glad to know that you made it back home safe.
Yeah, you were worried about snow. So, Josh.
At like 4 a.m., it got too bad to drive, and we ended up having to get a hotel, and I think I got back around like 2 on Monday.
Crazy. I'm so sorry, dude. I'm glad we were able to chop it. I didn't make you play it out. So, you're in 2 top 8 pictures. Here, you're standing behind me in the Redskins outfit. And on Friday, you were standing behind Blake on the far, looking at the screen, far right. Yeah. So congratulations on 2 top cuts, man. That's pretty fantastic, right? Have you had success like this before, Josh? I know we met before, I think, but I don't remember seeing you in a top cut. What's been your success before this?
I played in DC, and it was my first Star City games, and I topped the Saturday one with Cad Blue.
Wow.
And then I got like 12th Friday, and then I got like 11th on Sunday.
Yeah.
It was X2 all of them, except Saturday I went like 6-1 in Swiss with the Cad Blue deck, and then Tata destroyed me in top cut with Sabine.
Oh, he does that to everybody.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone here has ever beaten Tata, right, Ian? All right, so well, that's a lot of success for you, Josh. Congratulations. I'm glad that you're now kind of emerging on the scene as a kind of one of these celebrity players that are doing so well.
So Friday and Saturday you were playing Anakin, right?
Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. We're about to get into your match with Alex, is why I wanted to segue to it. So tell us first about your Anakin deck. I think it went, you told me, what, 10-4 or 11-4 Friday and Saturday? Something like that, which is fantastic.
5-2 Friday, 5-2 Saturday, but breakers weren't as good Saturday.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting like 14th. But yeah, it was the first deck that I copied and played in the big events were the CAD blue deck that the Nordic Takedown people made, and then I saw them doing well with the Anakin blue deck, and I was like, hopefully it plays similar to that. So I copied that and been playing it for the last month at like local store showdowns and like case tournaments and stuff, and it's been pretty good. It definitely has like it's like, I don't think there's any great matchups, but you don't really have any bad matchups. So you can win your most matchups you face, but you also can just lose them just as easily. It's like a bunch of 50-50s, 45-55s, I think.
So I know coming into set 3, we actually had Jeff Creasy from our team and Ian work hard on Anakin Blue. Ian, you even did real well with it at SCG Columbus, right?
Yeah, I had 2 top 8s at Columbus with the deck.
So looking at Josh's list, what's changed since Columbus? What are your thoughts about this list?
This is I don't mean to interrupt. This is my list for post Atlanta. I didn't play lightsabers at all either of the days.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. So this is an improved list from Atlanta.
Oops.
Yeah, this right now is what I would be playing this weekend if I went to an event.
Okay.
Josh and I had long talks about lightsabers on Friday.
Nice.
Yeah, I would say that the biggest difference is whether or not you play lightsaber or not. I think that when Jeff had originally made the version that I ended up playing in Columbus, I thought that the lightsaber package with Perilous Position and Razor Crest like overperformed by a large margin for me in testing, and specifically in the Anakin versus Han yellow matchup. I was really confident in that from the Anakin side, because similar to set 2, when a Boba got a Boba's armor, the game was kind of over, and the upgraded leader was just too hard for the Han deck to deal with, because unlike a Django deck that has a lot of ways to tap every single turn, the Han deck only has so many tap effects for leaders or interaction with leaders in general. So unless you can surprise strike the Anakin or whatever, or DJ them before they flip Anakin, it was really hard for them to come back after you lightsaber up the Anakin. So that was always the way I liked playing the deck. But it's cool to see other versions of Anakin perform well. I still think that deck has legs. I know that I think a lot of my success at Columbus was on the back of people not really knowing how to play into Anakin and not realizing the surprise damage from activating Anakin's front side, where your unit can kind of trade up in value. So yeah, with that being more of a known quantity, it'll be interesting to see how well Anakin continues to perform, but definitely a great showing by Josh.
So Josh,
one other really cool difference,
ahead,
I think, with one other really cool difference, I think, with Josh's list, and it's the same style of list that the European guys put out, is when you're playing like the R2s and the 3POs, you have these turn 1/4s. So it makes sure that you can trade into their turn 1 play and live. So the big difference is Ian and I's Anakin deck was focused on how can we trade up? How can we make our turn 1 play trade into a DJ or Han? And it dies. So, Anakin will make Sabine unit trade into a DJ. And their deck will say, well, our R2 is going to trade into your Sabine unit or your Battlefield Marine or your whatever turn 1 play and live. So it's kind of a fundamental difference of, do you want to win the turn 1 trade, or do you want to trade up on turn 2, 3, 4?
That's great. So Josh, what did you think about how it played? Because Friday and Saturday you did well with it, but then you switched to Mono Han on Sunday. Tell us that story.
I've been talking a lot in the KTO Discord and Bobby Sapphire, and he was like, play what you're comfortable with. So I put in like 300 games with Anakin Blue and came up with the list I played Friday, and then I switched 2 cards for Saturday, which was bad because I didn't know what to cut, but I was like, I want to play a regional governor and a main deck bravado, so I was dumb and played 52 cards main deck Saturday.
You're quite the European.
Yeah, the C3PO hits were not the same when you had 2 more cards and aren't even 3 drops. Like,
ugh,
Yeah.
that's gross.
and then so I was like, Anakin Blue was cool, but like you're talking about, it's like tough to actually win a PQ with it because all your matchups are like close to 50-50s. Even if you play perfectly in some of them, you still can lose them just as easily because there's no free matchups. Like every matchup is just going to be a grind. So Han Yellow just seemed like something to start learning, like trial by fire, and like you could spike a PQ with it, but like Ian and Alex just kill with the deck, so you can obviously see like the matchups don't matter with that deck if you master it. So I was like, I'm just gonna start trying to learn Han Yellow. So I copied Alex's list and just took a smuggler out for the third bouncer in the main, and I just put a Chewbacca in the side deck, and it was like pretty much 58 of his 60 cards.
So on Friday, you made Top Cut, and I haven't had a chance to watch it all back yet because I was playing too, but I watched a little bit of it. It looked like you and Alex had a tough 3-game match in the Top Cut on Friday. Is that what you remember, Alex?
I mean, tough is a way to describe it. I would say it was just mostly me fucking up.
Okay.
And sorry, that's one of my 3, right? I get 3 of them. Is that how it works?
That's right.
All right, they were set where it's been 48 hours, so I get 3 more. Yeah, pretty much the TLDR was just I forgot to defeat a resource with Han the turn before, and then I missed 2 of my smuggles the previous turn, and I it just messed the turn sequence up so bad. And the funny part was, after rewatching the video, honestly, I would have been better off if I could have had defeated the resources, because I don't even like the play I made. I think the better play would have... I was trying to finish the game faster because I was so tired at that point. Because Friday I was really, really tired. And I remember I have Enfys Nest in hand, and after watching the VODs again, I'm like, man, Enfys Nest was just a better play, but I went with the Blaster Cunning line because I just wanted to finish the game faster. So it's funny that if I had actually defeated the resource like I was supposed to, I would have been able to play the Enfys Nest, which I think was just the better line in general. And I appreciate Josh here for being a good sport and actually just going to game 3, because I do feel like I had pretty much won that game. But I wasn't about to, like, the judge wanted to fix it. He's like, no, we can fix this. I'm like, dude, this is so far gone. No matter how you fix this, someone's going to feel some sort of way. And I just don't want it to end that way. And I know that if I was in his position, I would be screaming for the game loss. Like, he was much cooler about it than I would have ever been. At least, especially if this was a more real tournament, it wasn't a 2K. Like, if this was like a Worlds or some sort of regional or sectional or whatever, I would have been like, no, this is a game loss. Like, you're giving my opponent a game loss, and I probably wouldn't have heard any other answer. So, yeah. I shout out to Josh for being just such a cool guy about it.
Well, that was my impression of Josh also.
100%.
Was your vibe was so perfect all weekend, Josh. So much fun to play, talk to you. I know Tata and Chat already mentioned what a pleasure it's been for him to play with you at SCG.
A small hiccup too, and he was just so good and gracious.
So cool about everything, Josh. If it was a bigger event, like he said, like a Galactics or, man, like a 6K event, something like that.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But Jeff, you built an Anakin Blue deck, and you actually were casting this Anakin Blue into the Mono Han match. Jeff, what are your thoughts on the matchup? Not specifically their match, because I know there was a lot of crazy judge stuff there, but generally, what do you think about Anakin Blue into Mono Han?
I honestly think it's one of the better decks into Mono Han, because you have so many tools to both deal with a Han flip turn, and you have Perilous Position, and also any 4-attack unit can just kill Han. And you also have more tools into DJ, because any 3-attack unit can kill a DJ. So you can kind of hold those hostage, and it basically makes Han's easy lines to get the free wins a little bit harder. I mean, anybody can still lose to Mono Han. But you have a lot more tools than some other decks do to deal with both the Han and the DJ. But a lot of that, too, goes back to the build. I think that's where the droids are a little bit worse, because you don't have as many of those 3-power units. But yeah, I think it's one of the reasons that I like the deck for Anakin Blue, because it does have a lot of those good lines into Han.
I will say that, just not to interject too much here, but I will say that, yeah, one of the best cards you can draw. I know this is going to be a no-brainer, but Cunning is one of the best cards you can draw against this deck, because, like he said, they try to trap you with like the K2 and the Kanan Jarrus. on 4, and those guys both have 4 attack. So your turn 4 line a lot of the time to stop them from trapping your Han, like he mentioned, is you want to cunning and bounce those guys back to their hand, and then ideally you do some damage. Maybe you discard if you don't have like a creature to pump or something, or taps, whatever you got to do. But the important thing is you get that 4 attack guy off the board with cunning. So
that's cool. And then Ian, you and Josh have a cool distinction that y'all now share. Both of you have made top cut at SCG with Anakin Blue and a mono Han. So Ian, what do you think of the matchup?
Yeah, so I think that you can definitely build your Anakin deck to have more game into Han, and I don't think Han can really do anything more than it already does to have like a specifically better game against Anakin besides what we're already doing now, which is playing Enfy's Nest. And I do think Bamboozle is a card that Anakin needs to watch out for. I have a top 8 match. Oh, no, it wasn't top 8 match. It was the round 7 of the Saturday event. I was playing to go undefeated, and I played against Gray. His name's Gray. He was playing Anakin Blue as well. And I had a really slog of a game 1, and then we had like 15 minutes to play games 2 and 3, and I won both of them within 15 minutes.
Wow.
Mostly on the back of DJ Tech being able to just kind of steal games, and I had one game where I was able to bamboozle a Kuel so that he couldn't kill a tech that was perilous position from the turn prior, and then was able to do the DJ Tech combo. And I ended up DJing him like 3 times that game, and he never got an Anakin out. So like there's ways that the Han deck can obviously have a slight performance into the Anakin deck. Like Alex was saying, like you want to make sure that their units are tapped when you flip, and Bamboozle I think is also one of the best ways to do it, just because you can play it for 0 by pitching a card from your hand. But I think it's really pilot dependent. Like if both players have a lot of reps into the opposing matchup, I think it'll be a good game, and one that's fun to watch on camera usually.
And then so anyway, Josh, great. Thanks for being with us. Feel free to stick around and join the conversation. I wanted to give you mad props on your amazing double top cutting, going undefeated on Sunday. Just what a great weekend, Josh. Glad that you got to hang out with us.
Yeah, it was fun. I'll be here for the whole thing today, so.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was
awesome.
It was fun. Definitely a fun weekend meeting everybody and playing. And this community is a lot more relaxed and chill than coming from Magic or.
Yeah.
That's what we're shooting for.
Right.
We are a rising tide lifts all boats. We love all our content and community and creators and community, and we want everybody to do great.
Yeah.
So happy that you're hanging out with us now, Josh.
Yeah, thanks for the invite. It was.
Yeah.
Like I said, this game. I think the mechanics in this game plays is just very good, and I hope it just keeps growing.
That's what we're shooting for.
Absolutely.
That's what we're trying to do. And then so back to Alex, your big 2K win. You had a top 4 match. Tell us about that for the 2K.
Yeah, this is the one I wanted to talk about, and because this guy, I forgot his name. I knew it the other day, and I had it memorized, but I can't remember his name. But yeah, that poor bastard. I'm so sorry. Oh my God, he was so cool, because if this happened to me at a real event, I would implode.
Yeah.
So pretty much what happened was game 1 we both mole.
What was he
I'm
playing?
just fishing for
what
DJ.
deck was he playing?
He's playing Anakin Blue. So same thing, Anakin Blue.
Okay.
I mole, he moles. I'm just looking for DJ. That's it. I'm just hard shipping for DJ. And I find DJ. He moles. He goes pass. I go, what did I play turn 1? Maybe slaves or something? I played something turn 1. I don't remember. Some creature. He goes claim initiative. And I'm like, oh my God, he missed the turn 1. He goes, next turn, he goes pass. I go play something else. He goes claim initiative. I'm like, holy shit. I am so sorry this happened. So he pretty much, we get to the flip turn. He plays something the next turn, We get to the flip turn. Out pops DJ. Next turn, I think I play an Enfys Nest, and he just picks up right there. So, okay, Bad beats game 1, not a big deal. Next game comes around, we start the match. We both mulligan again. I find the DJ again. He goes past turn 1.
No,
I go to spark him.
Oh,
Spark him.
God.
I look at his hand. He has no turn 1 play and only 1 turn 2 play, and I think it's open fire maybe. Oh no, it's Yoda. It's Yoda.
Oh,
and I go, I'll take the Yoda from your hand. And I thought I was screwed because when I mulled, I didn't have a turn 1 play except DJ, and I was like, well, I'm not about to play my DJ. I'll just spark him and like play behind a creature the whole game and see if I can still win.
Wow.
And so I spark him, I take the Yoda, and he goes draw for turn. He has initiative and he goes pass. And I'm like, oh my God, this guy missed his 1 and 2 drop 2 games in a row. And we flip turn comes around again. I pop the DJ out, it resolves. And he just was like, you know what? Sometimes you just get bad beats, man. He picks up his cards, and I'm like, he was so cool about it too. He's like, nope, I'd rather it happen now in Swiss. I'm like, man, if this was like a more real tournament, this happened to me, I don't even think I could keep it together.
No way.
I'd have to walk out of the room.
Was that Gray Carter? Was that the player?
Yeah, I think that might have been his name. I can't remember. He was
in semifinals. He played Gray Carter. It looks like.
Yeah, I think it was Gray.
Yeah. So then that would have been him. And he was a very cool guy. So shout out to him for being so cool. Because I
would lose it.
Yeah.
That'd be a mess.
There wasn't.
That's the player that I played in round 7 where I bamboozled and tech DJ'd him. So he had a lot of bad beats against Han that weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, at least it was just a 2K. It wasn't something big like Galactics or a 6K.
Right. So I thought too.
Oh, go ahead.
I thought like I wasn't sure because I was like, man, this guy is definitely going to be pissed, and I'm just going to sit here and say nothing. But he was a great dude. Like honestly, took it so well. So.
Oh,
that's
awesome.
Great to hear.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so then the epic battle of all epic battles, the match of the entire weekend happened. It was Ian versus Alex, right? On the Mono Han, the battle of the ages. Tell us about it.
Yeah. No, you go first, Alex, please.
No. I mean, ladies first. Go right ahead. It's all you.
Yeah, so going into the finals after I had a really great game set with Mike Gem, Bobby Sapphire from KTOD, I knew that I had to face the next KTOD boy in the lineup. And, I had beaten him in Swiss, so, I was pretty confident, but I knew that, going into the finals of that, being undefeated, I knew my luck was going to have to dry out eventually. Game 3 of that match, I think my hand was like a turn 1 C3PO and then 5s and 7s and events, and proceeded to miss like 5 cards in a row with C3PO.
Yeah, I remember that. It was crazy.
And then only drew more 5s and 7s.
Wow.
So it was a pretty lackluster game 3, but the first 2 games were a lot of fun.
Yeah. What do you remember from your side, Alex?
So this is so it's funny. I had lunch with Matty, KTOD Matty, yesterday, and game 1 he said, and I felt this way. I felt this way playing the game and even reviewing the VODs. Game 1 he said he turned off the stream because he was pretty sure that I was going to lose. And sorry, I'm out of breath here. I've run up and down my stairs like 3 times.
Okay.
So
I just thought you were excited about talking to Ian.
No. I'm. So
would never.
Pretty much what happened. No, I'm excited, but not that excited. So pretty much what happened was he said he turned the stream off because he didn't want to watch me lose, and I thought I lost that game too. I don't remember exactly what the point where I turned the corner was, and I do remember saying it to Ian. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I think we got locked in the. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
So going into the Han flip turn, which is the most pivotal thing in the mirror, because it's kind of like whoever gets Han out first usually wins. I, for some reason, thought that I didn't need initiative and could play around the Han, and I don't remember if it was like you slammed Gammo or what. I forget exactly what happened, but I just remember that I could have taken initiative and I didn't, and I think I just lost the game from there on, but I was in like a pretty good spot if I had just claimed initiative instead of like attacking for no reason. Do you remember that? Is that what happened?
Sure. I think
It was.
I think it was Gammo on 4. I don't remember why you didn't take initiative, and then it was Blaster into your tech because you're representing the Bozo combo, and I think maybe you instead played Zori Bliss, if I recall, and then I think maybe it wasn't Zori, it was something that was a different.
No, I think I slammed Kira, and I saw that you had Cunning and Gammo guards, and I named Cunning instead of Gammo.
You're right. And then I played Gammo,
Or
and
was
then
that
next turn it went
was that in
Blaster.
Swiss, or was that might have been in Swiss? I don't remember if that was Swiss or if that was in the finals.
I usually have a pretty good game memory, but I don't remember here. But I do remember the turn opening was Blaster the Gammos into the tech and kill it. I remember that very clearly.
Yeah.
And I don't remember how you. Oh, I think I remember now. It was I held up. Did I not hold up a surprise strike for your Han when you flipped? I think I do. Like kind of remember that. Maybe that was game 3. These games all kind of blend together. Game 2 is I remember very well because I just died very, very quickly.
Yeah, game 2, I juked you out, and I activated my. So I had initiative because I lost. I activate for Han. You activate, and then once I know that you're not playing Crafty Smuggler, I play a DJ from hand, and it threw you through a loop, brother.
Yeah, that was. I kept a hand that was. I remember my exact hand. It was double DJ, tech, Bodhi, double waylay, I think. Yeah, that was the hand. And I put down both DJs, and if I don't put down both DJs, I'm actually okay with your DJ start, even if you have Blaster. But because I was forced to play waylay, it just all very quickly spiraled out of control. And I'm the type of person, too, who some people like to play the game longer to decompress. Okay. I'm the type of person that once the rating's on the wall, time or not, I will just I'll concede. Like that's why I saw people in the chat were like, he only had 3 damage on his base. Why did he scoop? And I was just like, I'm dead. I'm just gonna start tilting if I play this game more because I'm just gonna think about all the things that went wrong. I'm gonna be very anxious to start the next game. Like this is not good. Like it's just not good for me mentally. So I just picked up. I was like, I'm not gonna sit here for the next 20 minutes as I try to claw my way back up. It's not happening.
Yeah. Well, let's get.
I can see what's happening. I can see it's over.
Let's get some casters' perspective of this. Who casted this match? Was it Jonathan and Jeff? Right, yeah. Jeff? Is Jeff still here?
Well, this was on the Maclunky game stream because this was Saturday.
Right. This is a Saturday.
This was a Saturday stream.
I believe it was Tower Number 9 and Josh from Next Gen.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, I would like to get their perspective, but not today because they're not. We didn't invite them. I'm just kidding. And so then y'all had a game 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us about the
game 3. Game 3, Alex had initiative, and I forget if did you go turn 1 crafty?
Game 1, what did I do of game 3? I think it might have been turn 1 crafty. I can't exactly remember how it went down. Game 3, I remember what won me the game, but I don't remember the actual turn start sequence, which, God, 2 years ago, I could literally tell you. I could tell you every game, every turn of every game I ever played, but I cannot remember. And I just rewatched this video too. What I did game 3, but I remember the thing that won me the game was I think I had initiative into 3 and I played Emphas Nest. I think that's what ended up winning me the game.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I just had all of my 7s and 5s resourced, and C-3PO missed 5 times in a row, and I just ran out of gas, and the flip turn didn't go my way. So
now I remember it was you had C3PO kept missing. On turn 5, you resort. I looked at your hand with Kira, I think, and your hand was Plo Koon and Han 7. I remember now. And we had that big talk about, I was like debating is Plo Koon still in the hand? Do I need to play into it? And then you played Zori Bliss on your 5 turn, and then you played, or on your 4 turn, and then the following turn you played Plo Koon, but I think you had to, there was some reason you had to play it sooner rather than later. Maybe I didn't kill your C3PO because I feel like he stayed there for a while.
you were able to get me off coordinates, so the Plo Koon didn't do anything. I remember that.
Okay, yeah. And then I think the following turn, now I remember what it was. I claimed initiative. I got my Han survived, yours didn't. And it did survive, but I was in a position to kill it or something. And I remember because I claimed initiative with my Han up, and a lot of the stream said, why didn't he attack with the Han? And the reason was because I had Emphas Nest in my hand, and I need to get to 7. And the only way you could kill my Han is if you had Surprise Break, but I didn't want to take the chance. So I opened, and I think I killed your Plo Koon because he'd taken 3 damage already. And then that's when I then played the Emphas Nest, and your Han was dead at that point. So I don't think you could play anything real, if I recall.
Yeah, it was not great. I remember pretty much feeling like I had lost the game at the flip turn and just played it out for the stream.
I think you weren't dead till you saw the Emphas Nest. Like, I would have kept me in your shoes until I showed you a big Han or an Emphas Nest. I would not have scooped, but the moment the Emphas Nest came down, I'd have been like, all right, I've seen enough. Like, that's
kind of what the feeling was. I knew you had at least one of the big 7s because I think I had sparked you at one point and got rid of like a big Han, but you had 2 7s or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but I knew it was coming down. It did not feel great in my position. I knew I had if I was going to win that game, it was going to be you drawing like 3 crafties in a row or something, like things that didn't really matter.
Wow.
Right.
So which deck, not pilot, but which deck is better built for the Han mirror? The Rebel aggro version or more of the Han good stuff version?
The Rebels.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
he draws more cards.
Because the Han deck is going to rise. We're going to see a lot more Hans going forward after y'all's had so much success.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
He normally draws more cards, right? Normally.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch my semifinals matchup against Bobby Sapphire, I think I drew like 5 cards off of a C3PO in one turn, in one game.
Yeah, that's sick. Yeah, so
I think the big thing in the mirror is being able to draw more cards with C3PO just gives you more options and more chances at drawing into your 7s and your Cunnings, which are like the best cards in the matchup. But also post board, I had Plo Koon and Alex didn't. So Plo Koon is a really good answer to specifically the Han leader because you'll have 5 resources by the time they flip. So in the context of what we said earlier, where having initiative on the flip turn in order to get your Han out first so you can get to 7 first, it matters a lot. If you have 2 units out and Plo Koon, it matters less. So that's something is worthwhile to note. And then also Bamboozle. Bamboozle is a really good way to stop the Han deck from getting to 7. And C3PO allows you to draw more cards, so you have more cards to pitch to the Bamboozle and not feel like you have to spend the last 2 cards in your hand to Bamboozle.
Well, Matt in chat mentions he didn't realize this was going to be on YouTube. So yeah, if you guys are in chat and haven't been following us already, subscribe to Blonde Sabine on YouTube, and there will be a video on demand of this entire conversation about recapping SCG Atlanta. It'll be posted later today. For many of us, like myself, needs to go back through it slower, pausing, looking at the cards you're talking about, and figuring out these play lines. Yeah. But Alex, dude, huge congratulations, man, for your big win, and you were definitely the MVP of the weekend.
Yep. Congratulations on the 2K win.
Yeah, thank you so much. And just to add to what Ian said, I'm kind of revisiting here, but I played Plo Koon in the stack. Without a doubt, in the side at least. I knew that. I had a little too much to drink the night before and didn't get it in there. One thing I did like, the only thing I liked, the only thing I think I had, the only two things I guess I think I had in that matchup that I thought were better was one, I had more 7s in the side, which I think Plo Koon is better overall. But once you get past that flip turn, if you haven't done the Plo Koon, I think more 7s are just better. Like, because you're just like, it's all about the bombs, I feel like. And I think that was something that was, I think that showed up in our game 3 where I had the ability to have that 7 at that time. And I think the other small leg up in a weird way is I actually really like Gammo Guards. Like, I think that card is really, really overperformed for me. And in that matchup, even in particular, it's pretty good because it's one of the only 4 attack units you have. So you do actually get to threaten their Han flip with a blaster as opposed to only a surprise strike, which is what most of the units, they're 3 attacks, so you can only threaten the flip with a surprise strike. So I do think the Gammo Guards was pretty... It didn't come up much in our match, but I do think that's a pretty solid.
It definitely won you one match, and I agree with you. Gammo is really good in the mirror. It's also really good into decks like Django or Quinlan. So I think moving forward, I'll also be playing some copies of Gammo Guards over the Fleet Lieutenants that I was playing, and kind of do some sort of hybrid version of the Rebel package. I think you can still play Wing Leader, but the Gammo Guards definitely are cards I want, at least in the sideboard, maybe a couple in the main.
But it's not a 3-drop for C-3PO. Be careful.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was playing with C-3PO on Carbass the other day, and I made this bastard child version of R2 decks. That's my 3rd one, by the way, before I get out of here. And I think I just playing C-3PO again, I think I hit 4 times in one game. I was like, why did I ever take this card out? Like, what was I thinking? Like, when you hit even twice with C-3PO, you're like, why would I ever play another version? So I have a new list I'm trying with C-3PO. It's pretty terrible, I'm not going to lie to you. Not the C-3PO, but the list itself. So I'm hoping that there's some middle ground I can find between the two of our lists, because I really want to play C-3PO. I really want to play Wing Leader. I just don't want to play any of the other Rebels.
Well,
yeah,
sounds awesome. We look forward to seeing the list, seeing you top at something soon.
When's your next PQ, Alex?
Oh, he's already won a PQ.
Well, I know. Are you doing another one?
Yeah. What's up?
Yeah, I have actually. I actually have a. I never wanted to win a PQ so bad, but the New Hampshire PQs this weekend, and I've actually never had the home field advantage in any card game I've ever played in my entire life, and I've played a lot of them. They've never held any tournament above a local, pretty much, in my area. So having the home field advantage for the first time in my life, I'd like to take that home, honestly.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Well, best of luck to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Good
We
luck.
hope
We can't wait to hear how you do.
We're sure someone from KTOD will win that event, right? Aren't a lot of y'all going to be there?
Yeah, I think it's me, Mike, Chrono, and no, I think it's just me, Mike, and Chrono right now. As of now, I think Justin has a basketball game he's got to coach, and Maddie's got a new kid, and then I don't know if Stevie's coming. Stevie might come too, but I know that at least Mike and Chrono and myself will be there.
Well, then that's a really good chance.
Already a tough
one of y'all will take it down then. Yeah. All right, Alex.
But
thanks for coming out and talking to us about the deck today, man. This has been a lot of fun with you.
Yeah, let us know how the PQ goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I got to get out of here, though.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you.
Great. Thanks for coming out.
I'll talk to you guys
Congratulations
later.
again. A huge
Thanks
success.
for having me.
Yep, of course. And then our to wrap up our 2K discussion, we had another Bothan sneak into the top 8, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
The world-famous Wooooo player, the pirate himself, GeorgetheHulk.
That's right.
Hey, George.
What's going on? Hello.
Hey, George.
Man, you top cutted the 2K, baby. That's hot.
I did, and it was
with the pirate hat and all.
bringing out the old reliable. Brought back Hondo. So,
I love it. That's awesome.
Oh, little blue, black, green control. A little bit of smuggling action. Tons of fun. So
yeah, let's get that Hondo on the map for Worlds. What do you think?
I was laughing my ass off at Wooooo. Wooooo dropped a video. Did you see him talking about you in the video he dropped?
Oh, I missed that one, I guess.
So he's doing the recap of SCG Atlanta, and he said, I don't know who was piloting this Hondo, but I see George the Hulk in the top 8 picture, so I'm going to put 2 and 2 together and say this was George the Hulk piloting this Hondo.
Yeah, little infamous pirate over here, for sure.
Yeah. Well, congrats, man. Tell us about your deck.
Let's see. So this was my I had it in the bag, and because people who know me know I'm a deck builder at heart. You know, I don't change 1 or 2 cards and see what happens. Like I crunch the numbers. I look at what every card's doing, and Chancellor was like my big like, can I make this work? And it didn't work out.
Oh well.
So
to fill in the audience that isn't aware, tell them what you mean by that. You worked because on day 1 you played Chancellor, and you've been working on it. We know internally in our team you've been working on that for months now. Tell us about it. Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of different versions of the deck, but the deck has such high restrictions as far as like villainy cards, heroic cards being consistent as far as like having to that you want to die versus actually keeping tempo and everything. There's a lot of puzzle pieces moving around, and obviously having leaking win conditions, which is what blue is known for. And trying to balance all of those is extremely difficult, and didn't quite work out for me that day, but and I decided the meta is still really good. The meta is still good for Hondo. I think this version in particular is like basically just the same ratios and same ideas as the set 2 Hondo, which I could revisit that. Like this is a lot more removal, like because of the Boba matchup, but like it still has applications here with Django and everything else and Tech DJ and it could be updated a little bit, but like this is what I brought, and it's still really good. Smuggle's really powerful. The fundamentals of their deck are still really good, where you can play threats out of your resource row, be very flexible with how you respond to your opponent's threats. Give everything ambush. That's fun. I actually had a moment with Jonah and the head judge of the event, and I was like, all right, I got a complicated question. He's like, bring it on. And it's basically in Hondo, if you timely intervention a Confederate courier into a P-38 starfighter, can you?
Oh man, that's a lot of nested actions, nested triggers.
That's what I say about Hondo is like you every time you do something, it's like 6 different things just start popping off. It's definitely a because like long pike ambushes and the shields, and it's a very I think it's a very strong and very cool deck. But long story short, for that rules interaction is yes, you can ambush into the P-38 starfighter, force the when defeated of the P-38 to fire off first, then create the droid, then create the +1/+1 counter. So,
that's a lot.
So he told me that's probably going on the judge test, and I was like, yes.
Oh yeah, there you go, nice.
So that was a fun one, but good games, good run. Let's see. There was a lot of blue red hero in Atlanta, which served me pretty well.
Yeah. Thanks to Chris Schutz, we're gonna talk to next.
For sure. Yeah. I had my top 8 matches against Ian, and he did Han things. I didn't do Hondo things. So, let's see. Yeah, no, love them all. Love First Light. Looking more into a more aggressive version of Hondo in the future. We saw the Hondo Yellow. Added a PQ, got top 4.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think, especially like Han and Hondo both have like the smuggle sort of like design space of like doing resource manipulation and playing a lot of your smuggle row and how you deal with resources. They just achieve it differently. So that's the kind of stuff I'm really enjoying. So,
well, congratulations on your top 8. Did you enjoy hanging out? Tell us the social side of it. Hanging out with the team. Here's the team pick of all of us. We're missing David and my brother Chris off the team picture for some reason. And then, of course, here we are at the Bothan house. Did you enjoy staying at the Bothan house?
Oh, absolutely. It was an absolute ton of fun. There was a moment where I was like, oh, do I be responsible to go to sleep? And I was like, absolutely not. I can't let this happen. So 2 hours later, we were chatting nuance of various play patterns and deck building decisions. And I think everyone had all their decks spread out over every single table. Oh yeah, this is after half the people left.
Yeah, this is a small.
this is-
This is
yeah.
half the room. Yeah.
So yeah, I think every single flat surface had a deck of some kind was getting tuned up, and
Right.
yeah, I carpooled with David, Michael, and Sean. And
Yeah, it's great hanging out with all those guys
Mhm.
for sure.
For sure.
Hopefully, we'll have a
It's really
chance
great getting to know
maybe we
us.
can come up with a reason to go back to Atlanta someday.
Yeah,
Maybe.
soon.
Maybe.
No, that's a crazy idea. Who would be coming up with that one?
I like Atlanta. Let's do
Yeah,
something
you
in
do.
Atlanta sometime.
Yeah, you do.
All right, George. Well, congratulations. Huge success. But if we look
Yeah.
back now at Chris's list, because Chris, you top cut it on Friday, right? Is Chris there? Yeah. Oh, I don't hear Chris, though. Chris. I will roll to Stan then. Stan, you top cut it on Friday, right?
Sure did.
Tell us about your deck. I don't know if I have the list.
I don't think I sent it to you today. It is.
That's okay.
If you have Mickey's or the KTODs, they're all about
Oh.
5 cards apart. Quinlan feels like about 55-ish cards are locked in,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
others are flavor.
I have
but
Loopee,
yeah.
but this is more Rebel version than yours. This
Yeah,
is Loopee's
we're
Rebel.
not on the Rebels right now.
Okay.
The Rebel version is fun. It does go a little faster. It's got a little more surprise damage, but kind of more like Alex was saying earlier. This is more just kind of a good stuff deck. You're just trying to play on curve, get some free kills where you can get them, rip their hand apart, and you can still push a lot of damage and catch people off guard. So it's a lot of fun to play.
Yeah. And then how did your top cut go on Friday?
So Friday was a lot of fun. I went 6-1 in Swiss. I lost to Frank. Beat me in the second to last, or round 6, I think, round 5 or 6. Frank got me with a top deck in
I
game
forgot.
3,
Oh, that
and
was
then
that was a crazy
I got
top deck.
I was
Yeah.
the lucky X1 to get paired up into Alex in the last round, and he scooped to save himself from some time because he was already making it. So we both got a nice little break. And then top 8, I got paired into Blake on his Sabine Green, and he is a PQ winner, great player, great deck. That matchup, Quinlan versus Sabine, is always tough. I do feel slightly favored there, but every game is like we can kill each other on the same turn, often like one action apart. They're always tough games. So he got me in that, knocked me out of top 8. But it was a lot of fun. And then Saturday, I wasn't able to play, unfortunately. And then Sunday, I ran back Quinlan, and we bubbled out. X2 finished 9th. And my car ride, Jonathan Fisher, finished 10th. So we sadly drove home the 9th, 10th car that day. But it was a lot of fun regardless.
Yeah. And did you enjoy the hangout part, going by the Bothan house and seeing everybody?
Oh, always, yeah. Always great hanging out with the Bothans and KTOD and anyone else that showed up. Meeting some people for the first time. Had a great time.
Absolutely.
The in-person aspect is so good in this game. So, well, congrats. I'll see Chris, did you make it back to chat? Nope. He's gone again.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Well, other thoughts? As my last interview is going to be Chris.
Oh, and big thanks to Chris, too, for bringing some visual equipment for us.
Yes, he helped us with the camera
last
stuff
minute.
on Friday.
Yeah.
But I think everybody knows Chris's list. Chris Schutz is, of course, goes by RodneyStubbs in all the online things. He has a great Patreon that you should check out.
Absolutely.
If you want to learn more about Chris's deck, the Violet Ray deck. Are you back yet,
I thought you
Chris?
said Violet.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Chris is there.
I like
Discord didn't
Violet
want to let
Ray
me
better
talk
than
for a
Violet.
second.
Well, now you can talk.
Violet Ray is my daughter's name that I named the deck after.
Aw,
That's so sweet.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she likes it because she sees people like playing it, and she's like, oh, they're playing the deck that's named after me. So
Aw, that's sweet.
That's awesome.
Aw. So
yeah, that
tell
was
us-
why I started playing the leader.
Well, first, before we get into the deck tech of this, tell us a little about your Patreon. It's been popping off. Every day I get onto the Discord server and I see more people joining your Patreon Discord.
Yeah, it's been really cool. I wasn't really sure when I started it. I just wanted it as a place to put my stuff where I could write or make videos or something and kind of have it collected all in the same place. But I wasn't really sure how many people would be interested in it. But it turns out that there's a few people who care and want to get content like that. So it's been really good. Every day we get a couple more people at least.
That's awesome.
It's been fun having a place to hang out and chat with everybody and get down to the nuts and bolts of this deck.
Yeah. Well, speaking of nuts and bolts of the deck, tell us a little bit about, for someone who's not played Violet Red before, Red Ray, Tarkintown, give us just the 100-mile up in the air overview of the deck. What are we trying to do here?
Yeah, basically it's a somewhat of a control deck, and we're trying to use early cheap units to get value trades and make it, and then use mid-game healing units to extend the game till we can start playing stuff like Luke Skywalker and Crate Dragons and close it out.
Yeah, this list has done really well. You top cut it on Friday with it. What was your Friday run through Swiss like? How'd it go? Tough, or did you feel pretty good?
I was mega worried about it going into the weekend. I'm not going to lie. It's the most nervous I've ever been going into a tournament. I just had, with the way the meta was shaping, or should I say like not really shaping, I had no clue how I was going to do. I didn't know what kind of decks I was going to see. I'd been preparing really hard for Django in the weeks leading up to this tournament. Like, I was just, every day I was just trying to play against Django and solve that matchup. And but I didn't really know, like, as far as like the Quinlans and things that had started been popping up, I didn't have as good of a game plan into those decks, so I was a little bit nervous about that. And then it turned out that round one I was matched against a Quinlan Tarkintown, which is the deck I didn't want to see. But I was on stream for that one on your guys' stream, and I ended up winning 2-0, and that gave me a really big confidence boost into the rest of the day.
Oh, that's great.
You
started
I ended
off.
up.
You were our first stream of the day.
Yeah. So it was good to get that out, and then the rest of the day went really well. I went 6-1 in Swiss.
Wow.
My only loss was to Stan, right? Was that on Friday?
And did you beat Chris?
That was the round right before I ran into Frank. I had to go through Chris. It was about to be the same in our top 8 with the way the bracket went out too.
That's funny. What
Yeah.
Well, tell us about the matchup between Quinlan. So you're on Quinlan Tarkintown, and you're on Ray Tarkintown. So that's definitely a big meta matchup right now. And y'all played it at the Swiss and again, and no, just the Swiss. So y'all didn't play in Top Cut, right? Just the Swiss.
Yeah, we just played in Swiss, and
so tell us about it. Tell us about that.
It went about as well as I would have expected. I didn't really feel good about that matchup. I think it's the weakest matchup other than Palp Yellow for Ray, and it went about as expected. He just totally stomped me.
Okay.
I wouldn't say stomped, but yeah, I'd say the matchup is definitely a little bit close to even, but it's Quinlan favored. I think a lot of it depends on both your deck compositions can change things, obviously, but just being able to attack the hand and put on the gas, the Ray deck kind of has to have some specific cards at specific times to really put up a good fight. Like game 1, I remember I got you about half life, and then you restored a little, but I was maintaining control of the board and picking your hand apart, and then you just turn on the gas and they're dead in like 2 turns later. Like the next turn they're dead. And then in game 2 was another slog. Where unfortunately Chris just didn't. We get to like turn 6, 7 plus, and every turn I'm waiting for the Luke to come down, and it just never comes to stabilize. So I got that one too. So
yeah, I don't think I drew a Luke in that entire match.
Yeah,
if I could be wrong, but I definitely did it in game 2, and I think maybe I had one like really early, and I had to resource it in game 1 or something, but I don't think I actually played a Luke. Yeah, it was one of those things where it just like drew like all 2 drops and stuff late in the game and wasn't able to close out.
So that's still a fantastic run, though, to go 6-1. And then what happened in the Top Cut? Because you made top 4.
Yeah.
You beat somebody.
Yeah, so what happened after Stan, I ended up playing, I got matched against Sabine Green, which was also a matchup that I was worried about, but had between that and Django, that was most of my prep was on those 2 matchups. So I ended up playing a guy, Blake, who is a really good Sabine player. He won a PQ in Memphis in the last set on Sabine
Blake
Green.
Edmonds, yeah.
Yeah, and I ended up winning 2-0 against him. So that was another good confidence boost. And then I played Symbiote on Palp Blue, which most people think is a really bad matchup for Ray. It's a bad matchup for most control decks that aren't Palpatine. but I have a really good game plan against that deck. I play against our teammate Jonathan a lot, and I've been able to develop some pretty good lines against it. I ended up winning that 2-0, and then that went into the top cut, and where I got rematched against Symbiote and beat him 2-0 again.
Wow.
So and then in the top 4, there was another rematch against
Blake.
And we ended up going to 3 games, and he took that down. The rematch, it was pretty much the story was Darksaber and whether I could answer it. And in the games where he got Darksaber and I didn't have an answer, he won. And that was kind of the story.
Yeah. So you've got these great play lines with this deck. Do you have it in your Patreon? Do you go deeper into, like, if people want to learn how to play this deck like you play it, is the information in there somewhere?
Yeah, I put out, I think it feels like a lot of content.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much every day I'm either putting out a gameplay video or an article, at least every weekday. So we get down to, we try and get down to like a lot of detail, and I have people who I can take requests. Like if someone's like, hey, I'm having a hard time in this particular matchup, like I will put out like the next day my video will be me trying to target those decks to try and like show, okay, like this is like how I'm thinking about attacking this, and on turn by turn we go through everything.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah,
we need to make sure, or if you get a second, to put your link into the chat here, and then I'll also add it.
We can add
all
the
these
video.
into the description as well.
Yeah.
Video for later. So
yeah.
Anybody who's looking for that content, go check it out.
Yeah, it was a really fun weekend though. It was awesome to meet everybody that I hadn't met already. Of course, like Frank, Courtney, I've met you guys a bunch of times, but yeah, getting to meet Alexander, Mike from KTOD, getting to meet all Bothan. Some of the other Discord members that came in was awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun this weekend, for sure.
Oh, so much fun!
Yeah.
This is probably one of our biggest get-togethers that we've had, right?
Well, the Orlando ones are big too.
Yeah.
I was gonna throw up a new card. We can end this stream today with this, having everybody in chat. Did y'all see a new card got previewed today? So let's put it up. It's not ours.
Yeah.
We did get good news from Xander. Courtney, if you want to tell the stream about that. We got an email yesterday.
Yeah. So yesterday afternoon, Frank's like, go check your email. But yeah, so we got approved to be, I guess, I don't know the exact term, but on the content creator.
We already found out we're content creator partners.
Partners, right.
But now we're going to actually, only so many of the content creators get preview cards.
Yeah. And so we are excited to announce that we will be getting set 4 preview cards. Yay! So they will be on our live stream, hopefully in the coming weeks. We'll get to do a special one about that. So we are so excited and thrilled.
Absolutely.
To be partnering with FFG on all that kind of stuff.
So here's the new card that came out today. I don't know.
I
apologize to whoever actually previewed this card. It just popped up while I was streaming, so I haven't had a chance to go investigate. But this is General Pride. Nice. Oh, thanks, Kyle. Kyle says congratulations in chat.
Aw, thank you.
So let's see. Red, black, villain. 2-drop, 2/3 with a lot of indirect. If initiative and you attack, you deal 2 indirect damage. Wow.
Yeah.
Look at this card.
That's awesome.
Man, I know. Like I see Matt's in chat. He's a old black villain aggro player. So who should I go to in chat? Who hadn't talked in chat yet? Phil, have you talked to any? Michael, have you talked enough? Somebody come tell me about this card. Who wants to talk about it? And nobody wants to talk about it.
Sure, I'll fire away.
Good.
Fun thoughts.
Go, George. Give us some fun thoughts.
So number one, it's all about synergy, right? Because like we've had the bombing Y-wing, right? The deal 2 damage and the opponent chooses where it goes. So like we know the effect in this game. Like they're always gonna scam you. They're always gonna choose like, oh, this is I don't care about my health. I'll take 2 damage to my base. Oh, it's a bad break point on a unit. Let me just put it on the unit. But we also know they have cards that are like, whenever you deal indirect damage, X happens. So we've seen anytime you deal indirect damage, deal an extra damage. So, is there going to be a leader that's like every time you deal indirect damage, do something else, give a unit +1/+0 for the phase, whatever. We'll have to be on the lookout for that.
I
think on its own.
I thought there already was one. Wasn't?
Oh, I think
the Boba Fett does indirect damage, but I don't know if there's been anything that gets a payoff for it.
Find it, put it up on the stream.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like every time you deal. I mean,
Yeah, he just does it. He does like a mini overwhelming barrage when he gets deployed with it, but it's indirect damage, I think.
Yeah, let's put those up side by side when I can find it.
Well, it does count. So it is triggered by when you deal non-combat damage. So, yeah, so it does trigger it. Okay.
Yeah.
So whenever you deal indirect damage with that is considered non-combat damage. Oh, that's a rules question. That's got to be right. I mean, intuitively, it would trigger it because
I would think there's no chance that it doesn't.
It does.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they explained it in the article when they unveiled the Boba.
Okay, cool. So with Boba, it says deal 3 damage, which 3 damage indirect damage, 2 offensive pressure from the attack. Yeah, I don't think it'll go in every deck. I think but it definitely has a lot of synergy. Not to mention officials for Palpatine if you go that route. So.
Yeah, like you said, I think indirect damage inherently is a little weak because they're always going to place it where it's the least impactful, right? If they have a unit that can soak it, they'll put it there. If they don't care about their base life, they'll put it there. Like, it's always going to go in the most favorable place for them. But if there's a deck with enough synergy, or you're just throwing enough indirect damage out, then it could be good for sure. I mean, if worst case, this is the turn 1 play that goes 4 to base, there's probably a deck that wants that.
I think one thing that people haven't really noticed about this card yet is that it doesn't say enemy unit. So if you have non-unique negative upgrades on your own units and someone does indirect damage to it, you could defeat like an upgrade on that.
Like a perilous position.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's great. Or an entrenched you don't want.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah, so I know it's super early in the set.
All right, deck building challenge, George. I need an indirect damage grit Wookiee deck that wants to power up its own Wookiees.
Let's go.
It's got to be a villain Wookiee deck somehow.
Somehow.
So JD, one of our great locals who hung out with us at the Bothan house this weekend, he's asking about how the Phantom interacts with indirect damage.
Indirect damage says it cannot be prevented.
Okay. So
yeah, that's the whole trick with it, is that it happens anyway, so it should still work. Should be able to hurt the Phantom.
Okay. So if the TIE Phantom is your only unit on the board and they get a card that says do indirect damage to a unit, then that kills the TIE Phantom.
I believe all indirect damage will always be assignable to base. It's possible they give us a source that specifically excludes that and says units only, but
okay.
The default is it can always go to base as an option.
See. So the Phantom is safe as long as if you're like if it would cause you to cause fatal to your base, then I guess you could pick the Phantom.
No, choose base, protect the Phantom at all costs.
Yeah. Even when you need to scoop. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Man, well I'm excited. I know we're early in the preview, but I just cannot wait. I know March. The set drops middle of March. I just hope we can find like a big tournament to play in right after the set drops with all these awesome new cards. That would be fantastic, right?
It would be.
Would you guys enjoy a big tournament right after set 4 drops?
That would be crazy. The only way that I would do that is if there was a team tournament and then also the biggest and largest SWOO prize tournament of all time. That's the only way I would go.
That's it's a crazy thought. That's insane. Insanity.
You'd have to be in driving distance of Orlando.
If something like that happens, where would we find out about it?
Hang out with us at the Bothan Network public Discord. That's with this QR code. If you're watching this on video on demand or right now, you can scan that QR code and come join us in the Bothan Network Discord.
Or discord.gg/Bothan Network.
I don't know if that link works anymore or not.
It does. I checked it right before the stream.
Okay.
Yep.
I thought George was messing with our links for some reason.
Well,
I don't know.
It worked earlier.
No, I never changed it. That was a question from Jonathan. That's boring admin talk. But
awesome.
one thing I wanted to note about SCG and these conventions and future tournaments and such is like I think we are really building an incredible community as far as like
for sure.
the etiquette of players, how players treat each other. Like, I mean, you saw in the top 8, you know, just absolute gentleman's agreement as far as like fixing the game state in the Alex versus
on both sides.
That Joshua.
That whole matchup. I got a Reddit post talking about.
I was about to bring it up. You took the words right out of my mouth. Congratulations, George.
Oh wait, I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen the Reddit post? Somebody
tell us.
made a whole Reddit post just about how awesome GeorgetheHulk is.
I love it. Well deserved. Well deserved.
Yeah.
Well, it was his first tournament. It was his first like big tournament, right? He done local stuff, and it was his first tournament. Chris played him too, and yeah, it was his first tournament. And my whole gag for the day was I got myself the Bothan Network hoodie, and every time I put the hoodie, I put the hood up, and you know say a little something. Yeah, I did it in team photo as well. It's like a fun little memory. Yeah, I think I've been extremely impressed with the players of the game, and yeah, the actual building of community, and making sure people are having fun, because ultimately, you know, it is competitive, but like, you need to have fun to keep people playing. So
yeah, so George wore the pirate hat for Hondo, and here in the picture you can see that he had the Darth Sidious hood up.
Like JD.
Whenever he would flip his Chancellor Palpatine, he would put the hood up, right, George?
Yes, that was the bit.
Yeah.
And like every opponent, giant smile. Everyone had fun with it. Everyone's like, "Yeah, that's what you're doing." It was great.
Yeah.
So,
that's fantastic. Well, I'm excited.
Me too.
So tomorrow we're gonna have a big stream again tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're either gonna do a deeper dive into some of the specific matchups that you're gonna see in your PQs this weekend.
Yeah.
I know there's the decks that we want to go deep on tomorrow include Green Sabine and Mono Han, and a little bit on the Django, but that's been done. I mean, what do people need to learn about Django at this point? But there are some interaction stuff we want to talk about.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
One of our teammates, Mickey D, got his invite to Day 2 of Worlds with his Quinlan deck, so that'd be worth talking to Mickey D tomorrow if he can come on, maybe.
Yeah.
And there might be big news. We don't know when, but there might be some big news we could drop
soon
for the SWU community. Maybe tomorrow, as early as tomorrow.
Stay tuned.
And if all else fails, we'll just live play with everybody, and that'll be fun.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah, man, what a great stream today, everybody! Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you guys so much. Again, this community is fantastic. I love it.
Star City Game Charlotte is March. Is the new set legal for that?
No, that's the weekend. Yeah, unfortunately, and one reason that we're decided not to go to SCG Charlotte is it's just such bad timing. All the PQs are over. It's the weekend before Set 4 comes out. I'm going to be tired of the meta by then. I'm not going to want to play anymore. I want to be so deep into Set 4.
I was just going to say, you're going to be so deep into Set 4
we'll
already.
Have every Set 4 preview
you.
by then. Right. I'm going to be wanting to brew and play with Set 4 decks. So first weekend of March, I am not probably going to be interested in going to a big SWU tournament. Now, if there was something in late March, perhaps, like early in Set 4, that was ginormous, then maybe...
Start shaping the meta a little bit.
Then maybe you could talk me into going to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting ready for the next set of PQs and Worlds.
Hey, Bradley in chat. He played 14 rounds in Atlanta. Had a great time. I think we all did.
Yeah.
We love the community. So, yeah. Okay. So, big PQs this weekend. Before we go, I want to get an update on the Greenville PQ, because I think there's some danger of snow. Phil, I don't know if Phil's in our chat or not, but has anybody heard what is going on with Greenville PQ this weekend? I need to go do a weather report. Oh, here's Phil. Go ahead.
So, hey, so right now the store owner is saying that he's going to send something out, an email either today or tomorrow for a final answer.
Okay. All right.
Whether it will be going. So
we
will see. I'm fingers crossed that it'll be safe enough for people to attend because this is like Christmas for me, and I'm being told that that Santa's not real, and it's killing me right now.
I bet.
Yeah, I know we've got a few people driving up from Atlanta and the surrounding areas. So if hopefully it fires, and hopefully everyone stays safe traveling.
Well, the problem too, I think, is the Appalachian Mountains run through there, right? Somewhat, like at least the foothills of the Appalachian. So a lot of if the roads are bad with snow and ice, it's probably not that safe a drive, is it?
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter if it's just an inch of snow, it turns to ice so quick. And it's just the fact that if it does snow Friday, which it probably will snow at some degree at least, just that rain freezing on the roads overnight is going to be very bad for travel.
Yeah, I know we've already got schools closing down here on Friday in Alabama, so because of snow and ice. So.
All right, well, we'll hopefully have a update tomorrow on stream about it, Phil, because I want you to spike your PQ Saturday so you can be our guest Wednesday.
Heck yeah, man!
With your deck, with your Obi-Wan deck tech. Are you still on
Everybody
Obi?
Everybody cross your fingers that we're not all going to get matched up against each other round one like we did.
I know.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot of Bothans at that PQ if it goes. So.
Oh yeah, you'll have to let us know if it's live streaming so we can watch.
Yeah, is there gonna be anybody streaming?
No, there won't. No, there won't be a live stream. I know Josh is going to be there from NextGenGaming SC. He'll be recording some matches.
Good.
I think he's going to do a bubble match for the final round.
Good.
And then he's going to do the full top 8 as well.
He's got a pretty quick turnaround too. I was talking to him this weekend. So
he's a great guy.
He gets several.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We'd love to get him involved.
Symbiote said that he might bring his camera and just do like a little stream whatever table he's at if nobody else is doing anything, or like maybe set up a table. So there might be something. It might not be commentated or anything, but you know.
Yeah,
just something to watch. Okay. Awesome. We're all craving content
I know.
right now.
Especially from SWU caliber. The SWU players of the caliber of the guys in this voice chat right now. Watching y'all play has just been so good.
Yeah,
it's so.
Y'all should have seen me this past weekend. I had SCG on, and then I had Mickey D's PQ on, and then I had I think it was the Chicago PQ on. I had three big tournaments going. I'm sitting here absorbing all
the SWU Red Zone channel.
That's what we should do. When there's like 5 or 6 PQs going, we should just put them all up and just do our own Red Zone channel. That'd be hilarious.
It's funny.
Oh my goodness. And then the other thing is that we went to dinner after the 2K finished finally with Ian and Alex. And it was a great dinner we had. And then we all had Mickey D's stream on our phones.
Oh yeah, watching it
at dinner. Like all of us like cheering for Mickey D. Like what did he do there? Why did he do that? Mickey D. What? No, I'm just kidding. He did great. He played
Not
great.
At all.
Yeah. It was awesome.
That Sabine matchup in top 4 was a nail biter.
Yeah.
It was.
That was insane. We thought he lost because we didn't see stuff like glare on the cards and everything, so it wasn't super clear what was happening. We were like, no, and then he was like, oh, he won.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I get to interview Mickey D sometime about it. Because as y'all know, I've played a lot of Sabine into him on that deck. So I'm hoping to hear that all of our hours and hours of mashing games helped him get past that Sabine. Because it is definitely, right now, if you need to work on one matchup with whatever deck you're playing, work on your Sabine matchup.
And Han too, I think.
Well, that's the other one, Han.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the 2 decks that are rising right now, in my opinion, in the meta.
Or if you're going to the PQ against Sabine, you could just not practice the Sabine matchup. That'd be fine too.
Yeah, we like that. Like that idea.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Yeah. Thank you guys again. We appreciate it, and we will be back tomorrow, same time, same place.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, y'all.